explicitly accepting that no freeman, in the sense of non-serf, could be punished except through the law of the land, a right that still exists. The name Runnymede may be derived from the Anglo-Saxon runig, regular meaning, and mead or meadow, describing a place in the meadows used to hold regular meetings. The Witten Common, or Council, of the Anglo-Saxon kings of the 7th to 11th centuries was held from time to time at Runnymede during the reign of Alfred the Great. The council met usually in the open air. The political organ was transformed in succeeding years, influencing the creation of England's 13th century parliament. The water meadow at Runnymede is the most likely location at which, in 1215, King John sealed the Magna Carta, and is the site of the Magna Carta Memorial. Magna Carta Island, on the opposite bank of the river, is another possible site. The charter indicates Runnymede by name. The Magna Carta had an impact on common and constitutional law, as well as political representations, also affecting the development of Parliament. The Charter's association with ideals of democracy, limitation of power, equality, and freedom under law has attracted placement at Runnymede of monuments and commemorative symbols. My beard's getting kind of scratchy. It was preceded and directly influenced by the Charter of Liberties in 1100, in which King Henry I had specified particular areas wherein his powers would be limited. Magna Carta was important in the colonization of America, as England's legal system was used as a model for many of the colonies as they were developing their own legal systems. I do apologize in advance if I am saying Magna Carta wrong. I do apologize. It is my understanding that that is how it is pronounced. And so if it is not, I'm sorry, and you're going to hear it wrong quite a few times. It was translated into vernacular French as early as 1219 and reissued later in the 13th century in modified versions. The later versions excluded the most direct challenges to the monarchy's authority that had been present in the 1215 Charter. The Charter first passed into law in 1225. The 1297 version, with the long title, originally in Latin, The Great Charters of Liberty of England and Liberties of the Forest, still remains on the statute book of England and Wales. Despite its recognized importance by the second half of the 19th century, nearly all of its clauses had been repealed in their original form. 3 clauses currently remain part of the law of England and Wales, however, and it is generally considered part of the uncodified constitution. Lord Denning described it as the greatest constitutional document of all time, the foundation of freedom of the individual against the arbitrary authority of the despot. In a 2005 speech, Lord Wolfe described it as the first of a series of instruments that are now recognized as having special constitutional status, the others being the Habeas Corpus Act, 1679, the Petition of Right, 1628, the Bill of Rights, 1689, and the Act of Settlement, 1701. It was the Magna Carta over other early constitutional documents, including the United States Constitution. So, you guys can kind of get an idea for how long this article is now. That is just the opening section, which is normally only a minute or two long. We're now at least a good 6 or 7 minutes into the actual reading of the article, and we've just finished that section, so it is pretty long. So I'm gonna kind of skim through and see what else sounds interesting. So there's the talk about the rebellion and creation of the article. That actually sounds kind of interesting, so I'm gonna read that section. The first subsection, the rebellion and creation of the document. Some barons began to conspire against King John in 1209 and 1212. Promises made to the northern barons, and John's submission to the universal rule of the papacy in 1213 delayed a French invasion. Over the course of his reign, a combination of higher taxes, unsuccessful wars that resulted in the loss of English barons' titled possessions in Normandy, following the Battle of Bouvines in 1214, and conflict with Pope Innocent III, ending with John's submission in 1213, had made King John unpopular with many of his barons. In 1215, some of the most important barons engaged in open rebellion against their king. Such rebellions were not particularly unusual in this period. Every king since William the Conqueror had faced rebellions. What was unusual about the 1215 rebellions was that the rebels had no obvious replacement for John. In every previous case, there had been an alternative monarch around whom the rebellion could rally. Arthur of Brittany would have been a possibility if he had not disappeared years earlier while he was John's prisoner. Arthur was widely believed to have been murdered by John. The next closest alternative was Prince Louis of France, but as the husband of Henry II's granddaughter, his claim was tenuous, and the English had been at war with the French for 30 years. Instead of a claimant to the throne, the barons decided to base the rebellions around John's oppressive government. In January 1215, the barons made an oath that they would stand fast for the liberty of the Church and the realm, and they demanded that King John confirm the Charter of Liberties from what they viewed as a golden age. John attempted to use the lengthy negotiations to avoid a confrontation while he waited for support from the Pope, and hired mercenaries adopting various measures to weaken the rebels' position and improve his own, including taking the cross as a crusader in March 1215, which the Pope applauded, but most other observers considered insincere, demanding a new oath of allegiance and confirming London's city charter in May 1215. During negotiations between January and June 1215, a document was produced, which historians have termed the Unknown Charter of Liberties. 7 of the articles of which later appeared in the Articles of Barons, and this action. The contemporary but unreliable chronicler Roger of Wendover recorded the events in his Floris Historium. A formal document to record the agreement was created by the Royal Chancery on 15th of July. This was the original Magna Carta, though it is not known by that name at the time. A number of copies of it were sent out to officials, such as royal sheriffs and bishops. That's the end of the subsection on rebellion and creation of the document. What's the stop